Hey friend, welcome to the Badass is the New Black podcast, where our motto is done is better than perfect. I'm Chrissy Chin, here on a mission to help you grow your business online, turn your leads into lifelong customers, and scale to six figures and beyond so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more. Most importantly, I'm a laid-back wife, a mom, a friend who started as a peds nurse, turned network marketer, and now a serial entrepreneur. This podcast is for ambitious people with an idea, a vision, but no idea how to get there. On this podcast, I'll give actionable steps to keep you moving forward while you learn new business strategies, better systems and processes, marketing, sales, all the things you need to build and scale a blissful business that keeps your pocketbooks growing. Grab a beverage, open up your notes app, and let's get to it. What's up, my friends? Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, how to master email marketing in 2022. Today is Friday when I'm recording, and you guys know that if I record on a Friday, I have like super special energy. So I'm going to bring it today. Of course, these episodes drop on Wednesday. You might be listening on a Sunday. Who knows? See, we're at it already. I just came off of a great launch. Actually, technically, when I'm recording, we're mid-launch for Digital Duplication Academy. We've got some amazing students that have joined. I'm super excited about. So I just have a lot of energy today, and I'm excited to bring that to you in this topic because email marketing is where it is at. Okay, some people say that email is dead. I don't know who those people are. They are irrelevant to me because they are not speaking the truth. I say that email is king or queen if you are one of my queens out there. So I've gotten this question, or this podcast episode stemmed from someone who made this comment or asked this question somewhere, and it said, I collect email addresses, but I have no idea what to do with them. And I was like, you know what? I need to do an episode on email marketing because it is so important. This is how we run and grow and sell the products and the courses and all of the things in our business is really through the email marketing. There's lots of other pieces to it, but this, like I said, email is king. Experts say that the number of email users should reach about 4.2 billion by the end of 2022. That is billion with a B. And I know we're fairly close to that now. We're in at least the 3 billions, high 3 billions. You guys, that is a lot of people using email. Email's not dead. So let's not pretend that it is, okay? Because it's really important for our business. Let's not ignore it. Email marketing has about 20% visibility rate compared to your social posts, which have 2 to 6% for their lifetime. And the return on your investment for emails are between 3,800 and 4,000%. Okay, if you're not like great with math numbers, I calculated it before. It's $1 could turn into $41. That's 4,000% return on your investment. So we need to get super intentional about our emails, email marketing, collecting emails, what we're doing with them, and how we are servicing our audience through email. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So the time and energy that you put into your email list, building it with quality leads, and doing what you can to learn about how to have a good and healthy email list means more money in your pocket, in your business, so that you can do whatever it is you want to do with it. Travel more, give back to your community more, invest back into your business, whatever it is, I want you to be able to do that. Okay. And we know that money makes some of those things happen, or the ability to happen. Okay. Super important, especially because social media changes day by day, right? Post pictures. Okay, now post pretty pictures. Hashtags, no pictures. Now videos. Okay, reels only. Okay, now you have to dance, and now you have to lip sync and dance, right? Like, it's exhausting. If you're exhausted by social media, can you give me a big old me in the comments? If you're watching on YouTube, like, and if you're just listening to the podcast in your car or wherever, be like, yes, amen, right? Social media can be exhausting with how quickly it changes and how much we have to, okay, now we have to do this, now we have to do that. Like, I'm tired just thinking about it. email marketing is pretty straightforward. It is certainly not changing regularly day by day like social media is. So we can take a deep breath in, take a big exhale, and say, thank you. Thank you, email marketing, for not changing on a daily basis. Didn't that breath feel good? I feel so much more relaxed now. All right. So in this episode, I'm going to teach you the basics of email marketing, knowledge and strategy that you can use for years to come in your business. Doesn't that sound lovely? Strategies that are going to work for years. They've been working for years. We've been at our business for Grow Workspace launched 4.5 years ago. KC launched 2 years ago. Businesses before that, we've been using the same strategies from the beginning. We're getting better at them, but just the same concepts. So what a breath of fresh air that these haven't changed dramatically, and we get to use these and they're going to work continuously. Okay. So if you like what you hear in this episode, at some point, hit that subscribe button, or if you're just loving the energy that I'm bringing today, this goofy, funny, quirky energy, hit that subscribe button to help support my podcast, my YouTube channel. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave a review. Big shout out to New Biz Builder, who left a review on the podcast and said, this podcast has been so helpful as I've been building my business online. Chrissy introduces many aspects of building an easy to understand and non-intimidating way. She's enjoyable to listen to and provides resources I'm using now and will certainly use in the future as my business grows. So thank you, New Biz Builder, for leaving that review. It was 5 stars too, by the way. So thank you, super helpful. And I just appreciate you so much for supporting me and this journey by leaving a review. All right, I'm not too proud to ask for a review, you guys. Okay, tell me what you loved, and hit some stars for me. Okay, so back to email marketing. First, we need to grow an email list. Do not ever buy an email list. This is a big no-no. It might feel like, oh, well, this is like a quick win. Why can't I just buy this email list from someone? Or if someone comes pitching to you in your DMs, like, buy this email list, like, it's not a good idea. First, it leads to low open rates. We're going to talk about why that matters here in a minute. Second, it goes against a lot of policies. You really need people to opt into your email list voluntarily, not be forced onto your email list. I have definitely think I've been subject to this happening because I'm like, who is this person that I'm getting emails from? I don't even know this person. And then they're like continuously coming. I'm like, clearly somehow my email got on there. Maybe they purchased a list from someone, right? Okay. So we need people to opt in voluntarily, meaning that they put their own name and email address into a landing page or into a form and click that button to give you permission to send them emails. So I much prefer the email list holder sending out an email on your behalf. So if let's say someone has I have an email list that you can market to. Instead of purchasing and you getting their list and emailing, have that email list holder send out an email on your behalf, talking you up, saying how great you are, and having them offer a freebie or an opt-in, which we'll talk about. And then those people opt in versus paying to just get that list and doing it yourself. It's going to go against policy. So that's my first and foremost, no, don't do that. Okay. So how do you get that email address? Well, you offer an opt-in with a free gift in exchange, something that will give them a quick win. Okay. They will get to experience what it's like to work with you. They'll get to experience learning from you. It could be a newsletter opt-in, but I definitely see that the opt-in rates are less for newsletters unless your newsletter is epic and that's where it's happening and that's where you give all the juicy content. then maybe like you could market it in a way that's like, oh my gosh, yes, I need to get on their newsletter, or that's the place you do special offerings or something. But typically it's some type of free offering. So a free masterclass or a free checklist or a 30-day planner or a 3-day exercise, whatever it is pertaining to what you do and what you teach and what your audience wants. It could even be a free coupon for people that are listening that maybe create their own physical products. Maybe they're opting into an email list for 10% off. I certainly know when I was furnishing the lake house and I went to, I think it was Woven Nook, where I was buying a bunch of pillows for couches and beds. And I got that pop-up when I landed on their website and I was like, opt into our newsletter and get 10% off. And I was like, yes, I'm about to drop a bunch of money on this site. I'm definitely going to opt in and get that 10%, get that code and use that code. So that's another option that you can offer, is a coupon code to have them jump on your email list. All right. So they are putting in their email address and clicking that button to opt in all of those when they're getting their freebie or when they're getting a coupon. Okay. They are putting their email address in. They are saying yes to getting that exchange, not being forced to do it. Something else to note, if you're very new and unfamiliar with this, is the single opt-in versus the double opt-in. Or maybe you've been looking at your email and like, do I really need the double opt-in? It is a great idea. Sometimes I use single opt-in, sometimes I use double opt-in. It actually will help grow a healthier email list. The double opt-in means that they need to verify their email before they get your free thing. And so why might you want to do this? Because you do want your list to be super healthy. We'll talk about that in a minute here with engagement and open rates and all of that. But the double opt-in, so they put in their name and their email, they click the button, and then it goes to a thank you page and says, hey, hop over to your email, verify your email address so you can get your freebie. So then they go over, maybe you've experienced this, think back to if you've experienced this, you go over, you open that email, you click verify, and then poof, that email comes to you. So I have just said and given permission, like, yes, this was me putting in my email address. This is me verifying and saying, yes, I really did this. Please send me the email. So it just creates a stronger lead. The behind the scenes tech stuff, likes that. Okay, they verified it. So this was not some type of spam thing happening. Okay, great. This is better for deliverability in the future. The other thing is sometimes people put in their wrong email address. So I've done this before. I've certainly had emails on my list where someone will reach out and they'll be like, I'm not getting the emails, what's going on? And I look it up and they've put, sassy at whatever the email is, superstar.con, and they typed CON instead of COM, right? The M and the N are right next to each other. My fingers are big on the phone, right? And so they typed the wrong thing and it kind of looks like it because it's the N instead of the M, one hump, two humps. So they type in the wrong email address. It has a hard bounce. They don't get the emails. But if you do that double opt-in verify and they type it in and then it doesn't give them that email address, then maybe they can see right away, oh, maybe I typed in my email wrong. Let's try this again. Okay. So there's just a couple reasons why a double opt-in can be a better idea than a single opt-in, just getting really great quality leads or healthy emails on your list. All right. So speaking on keeping your list healthy, every 6 to 12 months, remove the email lists that have had a hard bounce or that are not opening your emails. Some email platforms will automatically unsubscribe people who have had a hard bounce, meaning the email could not be sent at all. So those people that typed in the wrong email address, that's a hard bounce. It doesn't exist. It's not going to go. Or sometimes people, their email inbox is full. And so they can't receive emails or something's going on. And so that could be a hard bounce. Some email platforms will automatically unsubscribe those people so that you're not constantly sending those emails, which would decrease your engagement and your deliverability and your open rate. which can affect the way that your emails are sent. Okay. If you have low engagement, so meaning people aren't opening your emails, then you could be marked as spam by the email providers that are sending emails, and therefore decreasing your deliverability. So then potentially, if no one's opening your emails, you get marked by those, I don't know if it's the servers or like whoever out in the tech world, well, whoever, whatever is saying like, oh yeah, they seem like spam, right? The tech is saying you seem like spam. And so then they're going to start sending your emails to the spam folders, right? We don't want that to happen. So there's a couple different factors that go into play. So low engagement is one of those that could do that. So if you scrub your email list and remove the people that, let's say, haven't opened a single email of yours in the last year, and you unsubscribe them or you remove them from your list, that will help your deliverability to make sure that the people that really want your emails go to their inbox, don't go to the spam folders, and all is good. Okay, I am totally guilty of like the people that abandon the email addresses. Some people, like, they're getting the emails. So this is not a hard bounce. It's actually going to their email inbox, but then they just don't open any emails in there. Maybe they've abandoned that email address. That is so me. I'm like, okay, once I get like 50,000 unopened emails, I'm like, I can't even do it. I just got to open a new one. Like, that is so me. Yes. Okay. I'm the person who has the constant red bubbles on my phone and the email bubble that says 61K unread emails. Okay. Don't hate me. I know some of you just cringe, those OCD people out there that cannot stand a red bubble on their phone. Mine is horrific. Okay. Also, if you pay for an email CRM system, client customer relations management, that's what it stands for. Okay. That makes you pay per user, or you have to increase your plan with your contacts. So let's say your CRM system, your email provider, says you can have 1,000 contacts on this plan. But if you have more than that, you need to upgrade your plan to 2,000, and then you're paying more because you need more room for contacts. If you have people on your list, let's say 100 people that are taking up space, they're never opening your emails. They haven't opened in a year. They've maybe been like me and abandoned that email, but it's still going there. They're taking up space, right? And you're paying for that person potentially. So it's good. It's healthy. Don't hold on to those people. I know it's tough. Like, oh, but I worked so hard to get that email address. Like, they're not doing anything for you. So let's just let them go and live in peace. Okay. All right. So those were some general email marketing do's, don'ts, what to keep in mind, and all of that. Now I want to cover 3 things to do with your email, with someone's email when you get it. Okay. So when you get an email address, it needs to go into your CRM system, your customer relations management system. This is so you can leverage automations, so you can help stay organized, and so you can do list segmentation and all of the good stuff that we want to do with our emails. If your website hosting platform has a CRM system built into it, that's great. Use that system. There's no additional cost typically. Attractwell, a lot of my people out there use Attractwell, love them. They have a CRM system built in. Kajabi, love Kajabi. They have a CRM system built in. So that can also help you decide maybe what website platform you're going to use by using that CRM system that's built in. Or maybe you start with an email provider. You don't have a website yet, but you're like, I want to start growing a list. You start with an email provider like ActiveCampaign or ConvertKit. Now, I do not recommend MailChimp, especially if you're in more so for the network marketers that I know are listening, because they actually in their terms say you cannot email MLM. So I would advise against MailChimp, because if you're sending emails to your team, you're technically going against their policy. Okay. We use Kajabi emails for like their CRM system for about 4 years. After that 4 years in business, we just now switched to using ActiveCampaign, a third-party email system that we've integrated into Kajabi. And really just because we wanted to get a lot more strategic with how we were sending emails, but we built a multi-million-dollar business and have done six-figure launches and thousands of people in memberships using the CRM system that was built into Kajabi. So you can have a fairly simple and basic email CRM system and do some amazing things. So don't overthink it too much. You just need a place to be able to bring your emails. And I'm not talking about like Gmail or Hotmail. Like we're not entering those emails into our email address book in there. We are talking about a legit CRM system that's going to allow us to do a lot more than just like have the email in there. Okay. So first and foremost, you want to get that email on your CRM system. Where do you get those emails from? Okay, we're going to cover this very briefly because I know that's what you're thinking. Like, I know I have to get people on my email list, but where do I find these people? Remember, do not buy your email list. Some people collect email addresses when people enter a Facebook group. So if you have a prospects Facebook group, make sure you're adding one of those questions, or you have a freebie offering that you're like, hey, do you want this freebie? Put your email here and I will send it to you and subscribe you to my email list. Or in order to get into this group, you have to give me your email address and I'll add you to my email list and I'll send you some amazing stuff. Okay, so if someone's coming into your Facebook group, that's how you could grab an email list. Of course, if you have a freebie that they can kind of opt into that manually, or some of you out there might be doing in-person events. And so maybe they're filling out a form somewhere and they're putting their email address down. And so then you're able to go back and put that email address into your CRM system. Anytime you're putting an email address manually into your CRM system, that person has to have given you consent to email them. So you can't just go find random emails out on the internet and then just start putting them in your CRM system. Big no-no. Don't do it. Nada. Okay. So if you're collecting emails in a different way, other than someone literally going to your landing page and opting in themselves, make sure that there is a note or a box to check. Let's just say you're at a vendor event or an in-person event and you have like a piece of paper and they're filling out their name and their email. Make sure next to that, there is a little note with a box that checks that says, you're agreeing to me putting you on my email list and sending you regular emails or something to that effect that is giving you permission to do that. Because when you go enter these emails into your CRM system, it is going to say like you have to have permission to be able to send these people emails. And so you need to be able to say, yes, I do have permission. They gave me permission, right? Something to give you that indication that they're giving you permission. All right. I love collaboration. So another great way is to collaborate with someone. I mentioned this at the very beginning of the episode, but we'll highlight it again because it's amazing. Have someone promote you and they send an email out on your behalf to their email list with your free opt-in, free offering. And then you grow your list with people who are actually interested and opted in themselves. I recently just did this. Someone promoted my How to Build a Wildly Profitable Website masterclass, and they brought over 400 people in from their list now that are on my list, people who are interested in what I am teaching and offering. Okay, so great way to grow your email list. I love collaboration, leveraging other people's audiences. So that's one way to do it. If someone is opting in for a free offering and you plan on adding them to your email list, which you are, and you're going to be sending them other things outside of just that one free offering, there needs to be a note underneath that says that they are opting into receiving more emails than just this free thing. I learned this not that long ago, to where when someone's opting into a freebie and not just like your newsletter, they're giving you permission to send them that freebie and that's it. So adding a little message underneath that says, like you could have it say, what does mine say? Mine says, I'll be sending you free weekly content, unsubscribe at any time. Or like, I promise I won't spam you, I'll send you weekly content, unsubscribe at any time. And so by checking that, they're giving you permission to send them that freebie and to also let you send them other things. Okay. Otherwise, they're just consenting for you emailing them that freebie. But I like to email out my podcast every week, or, maybe a blog post or a YouTube video. So I really want to get that permission. Okay. When someone opts into your list, it's really important to implement list segmentation. Now you can use tags to help you segment. So like the first thing was getting them on your CRM system. But like the first main thing that you do is make sure you are segmenting your list appropriately. So let's say you're a multi-passionate person, you have a real estate business and you're selling essential oils. Okay. So if you have a freebie out there that's for your real estate audience, your first-time home buyers, grab your first home buyers checklist so you don't miss a thing and you know exactly what to look for when buying your first home, right? That's going to be someone who's interested in your real estate business. You want to tag them, maybe real estate, so that your list could be segmented. All right, who's interested in real estate and who's interested in my essential oils? And then maybe you have another freebie that's targeting living a clean lifestyle or having a clean home, a toxin-free home. Okay, we're kind of blending the two together. You work in real estate, you focus on helping people create toxin-free homes. So that's how we're blending our two businesses together. But you have a freebie that is specifically geared towards your toxin-free products. We want to tag them as such. Okay, because if we're just emailing everyone on our list everything about everything, and they've come in for very specific reasons, sometimes it can cause decreased engagement. And so again, we don't want decreased engagement. That decreases the deliverability and it's just not great. So being able to segment, and if you have another specific freebie that is for your real estate crew or group, you can segment your list and send it just to them. It'll be super relevant. There will be a lot more engagement, and that will be better than just always mass emailing like the toxin-free living and the real estate stuff. You can also segment by location. Maybe you're a yoga instructor that teaches online yoga across the world, so you reach a lot of people, but you also host in-person classes or local retreats, right? You would find it helpful to segment your list based on location, because then when you're having a local event, a yoga class that's happening on a Tuesday evening, you don't want to send that to everybody. Not everyone's going to be interested. They're not going to fly in for a Tuesday night event. So you could send that just to the people you've segmented as local. So when you're setting up, that freebie or whatever, at some point in time, you're asking them the question, let's say you live in San Francisco, you can ask the question, are you in the Bay Area? And if they say yes, you can segment them like, okay, Bay Area. So when you're having a local event that they might drive to, you could email them more heavily, right? Because it's more relevant to them. Okay, you can also segment your list based on personality. This is perfect to be able to understand more about your audience, what they need, how they interact, and increase the conversion rates. So doing a personality quiz is a great and really fun way to do list segmentation based on personalities. And like, who doesn't love a fun personality quiz? I am always a sucker. Like, I want to know which one I am. I want to know how I'm categorized, and like, for them to tell me like how amazing I am, right? So we actually have a quiz that's being created right now. I'm super excited about it. It's about your brand strategy, what makes you stand out from everyone else. So if you're listening to this, probably in the future, then the quiz will be up. You could go see, it's at thechristtychin.com/quiz. Super fun. It's going to give you such insight onto what your strengths are so that you can leverage those and through your personality to support your brand and stand out from everyone else. So yeah, like who doesn't love a quiz? So you can segment your list based on personality. After my little quiz shameless plug. Okay, you can also segment based on their actions or how they behave. Have they purchased before? What are they clicking on? Sometimes you need a bit more of an intellectual email marketing system to be able to do some of these segmentation, but sometimes your platform has that built in, so you could take a look at it. You could use tags in most of the platforms. So if you've added a purchase tag to a person that bought something, you could then easily, quickly see who on your list is purchasing, or be able to filter by that. You could filter, all your products, like filter anyone who's bought this, or this. And then now you have a list of people who've purchased, and you could send them an email for something. Or for all the people who haven't purchased, you could send them an email saying something differently. You could also segment based on where they might be in your customer journey. I love this one. So beginner, intermediate, advanced. I talk a lot about a product suite and having a product suite, kind of basically this ability to support your customer on a journey. So typically you bring them in as a beginner, then you have an intermediate, and then you have an advanced customer. So you could have different freebies that indicate where they are in their journey. For example, our How to Build a Wildly Profitable Website Without Knowing Anything About Tech Masterclass. That's really more for beginners, right? Someone who's kind of getting their business started. They need a website and they need help with that, and they want to learn how to make it wildly profitable. They're in their beginning stages. So anyone coming in for that freebie, I could tag them as a beginner. That way, when I have another beginner product, I could maybe hit that segment of my list a little bit harder. Or if you teach yoga, you have a yoga for beginners freebie, and they get tagged beginner. So when you have a workshop for beginners, you can send that to them. It's going to be very, very relevant. And maybe you have an arm balancing freebie, and you could tag someone as advanced if they are opting into that freebie. If they're interested in arm balancing, then likely maybe they consider themselves advanced. Or this is another idea, which I like even better. Any freebie that you offer, a lot of the platforms, like I know Attractwell does and Kajabi, you can ask questions, okay? After they opt in, you can add questions. So it could be, what do you consider yourself? Do you consider yourself a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced? And then they're picking, no matter what freebie they got, they're picking what level they're at for you, so that you can add that tag and put them in that segment. And maybe you could add a little information like beginner. What does that mean? So beginner, I'm new to yoga. Intermediate, I've been doing yoga for a year. Advanced, I'm a longtime yogi and I love getting upside down, right? So like they kind of have an idea, like, is that me? Is that not me? Like maybe they would consider themselves a beginner, even though they've been doing yoga for a year. So again, why is this helpful? Based on maybe what level they consider themselves at. Maybe you have different offerings that are relevant to that level. So let's say you have 3 different yoga courses for beginner, intermediate, and advanced. If they come in and they tell you I'm advanced, then you can opt them into an email series that then eventually pitches to your advanced program. Okay, so this is why we are talking about segmentation. We want to be incredibly intentional about the people coming on our list and how we're speaking to them, talking to them, what we're offering them, so that they engage, interact, and take action. Okay, so list segmentation just really helps us in that capacity. Another example would be, I did a masterclass for someone else's community, and it was only relevant to their Young Living audience. So they actually had their list segmented, who was a part of their Young Living community and who was not. And so this class that we did just for that niche space, they were able to send emails just to that segment of their list. Imagine if they hadn't done segmenting and they sent it to everybody. A lot of people that maybe had no interest and be like, oh, why am I getting this email about this? I have no interest in this. And they might unsubscribe. So it can also prevent people from unsubscribing if you're segmenting and being very intentional about what kind of emails you're sending, what people. In terms of my podcast that goes out every single week, I send it to everyone on my list. My podcast is relevant to anyone who signs up for any of my freebies. And so I'm sending it out to my entire list. I'm not segmenting that. Okay, so we don't have to segment everything and send emails to individual segments all the time. But for some things, it's really appropriate. Okay. Number 2. So after you get them on your list and you've tagged them or you've segmented them, the second thing that I want to talk about is you send them valuable content. So here's some stats for you because I love numbers. So if you like numbers, I just want to throw some out for you. 80% of email users check their email daily. The average person gets over 100 emails a day. It definitely feels, I don't think I'm getting 100 in my inbox, but gosh, sometimes it feels like it. The open rates for emails is between 20 and 40%. Now that might sound low, but think back to when I said that stat about social media, your social media post having a 2 to 6% like reach for its entire lifetime. Emails 20 to 40% get opened. Okay, so that's a good number, even though it seems like it's on the lower side. So first off, you need a really enticing email subject line. So we want to be more towards that 40% open rate. So the very first thing that they see is that subject line. If it's not enticing them to open, they're not going to open. You're going to be around that 20%, or maybe if you're really low, that's indicating you're bringing in kind of the wrong person. But let's get back to subject lines. That's like a whole other topic. So a subject line that gets someone to say, oh, I need to open this email. I need to see what's inside. That's what we're going for. So keep the subject line relevant to what they came for in the first place. Also, the subject line or a subject line that makes your audience curious can work really well too. So the brain wants to complete the thought or a puzzle. And so if the subject line leaves them wondering, then they are much more likely to open that email. Okay, like 3 mistakes causing your biz to lose money. That really leaves them wanting to know, like, oh, am I making those 3 mistakes in my business? Because no business owner likes to lose money, right? So they're going to be like, oh, I need to check and see, like, make sure I'm not making those mistakes. I don't want to be losing money. Or telling them what they're going to get inside. So your subject line could be, here's how to increase email deliverability. I can expect inside that email, you're going to teach me how to increase email deliverability, right? So if I want to know how to do that as the email receiver, I'm going to click into that email and I'm going to read about how to do that. Make sure that what you are saying in the subject line is actually being delivered in the body of that email. If you say how to increase your email deliverability and they open up the email and you don't tell them how to do that, they're going to be annoyed, they're going to be mad, and that's when it turns into clickbait, and then they could report you as spam, and then that's a whole thing, okay? We don't want that. Another tip that I have for subject lines is try and keep it in 50 characters or less. Think about when you get your notification on your phone and how much you can see, right? It's kind of this small amount. So test it out. I often like to send myself a test email. I'd like to make sure all the links are working inside. But what the first thing I pay attention to is when I get that notification on my phone that the email comes through, I see how much of the subject line I can read. And then I read it. And sometimes I'm like, oh, all the unimportant, irrelevant words are at the beginning. And so I kind of shift and tweak that subject line to have more of the powerful, enticing words so I can at least see it in the subject line. But if it's shorter and I can read everything, then that's great. Another thing to look at and utilize, if you can, is leveraging a pre-header. So some platforms have a pre-header option and some don't. This is like a little, so you have your subject line and then your pre-header, which allows you to add some more text there, which go back and look at any of your email notifications. You'll see the subject line, and then it looks like you're seeing kind of the first line of the email, but actually that could be the pre-header. Okay. And so the pre-header allows you to put in whatever you want without having to change the body message of your email. So I would definitely make sure that this is relevant and supportive to your subject line. So for example, if I'm sending out an email inviting to my new masterclass, the subject might be, you're invited to my new masterclass. And then the pre-header could read, let's improve your website today. So it's actually giving them a bit more information about what they're being invited to. So if they're interested in website stuff, then they'll open up the email. Or your subject, if your subject was going to be too long, you could put that like after note on the pre-header, and that will get them like more of the full message. Okay. When someone is reading an email, they give you about 10 to 15 seconds is their attention span. Okay. So I want you to keep this in mind when you're writing your emails and how you're structuring your emails. So keep your emails to the point, short sentences, lots of paragraph breaks, have the best content at the top. If they're only going to have their attention for 10 to 15 seconds, we want the best information at the top. My husband always talks about, what does he say? Not like writing and concise, but he always talks about, he's going to listen to this and be like, honey, I say it all the time. This is what I say. But basically it's the idea of writing in less, or like saying what you need to say in a lot less words. Sometimes I'll be listening to Voxer messages from people and we're in the car and the message is going on and on and on and on. And he's like, geez, like, could they get to the point, or like what? And then after he's like, okay, they could have said that in 1 to 2 sentences. And like, I'm totally guilty of that. So I'm not calling anybody out on that, but it's something I'm improving on. Same with emails. Like, we have this limited amount of time with someone's attention span. We have to be short. We have to be to the point. People want to read the information very quickly. And so we need to give it to them very quickly. That's just how the world has changed over time. Okay. Also, write how you would talk to this person, like how you would talk to a friend. Keep it super friendly. That's also going to decrease people marking you as spam. Okay. So keep things friendly. To stay consistent, email once a week, or I would say that's an important part, is staying consistent. So emailing once a week, or if that's too much for you right now, 2 emails a month or 1 email a month. I think you should definitely strive for 1 email a week. But when you're just starting out, at least do 1 email a month. There's a podcast episode that I did with Liz Wilcox, and I'll tag that in the show notes, but we did talk about monetizing your email list. And so she gives great tips on how to just keep your email short and sweet and get out 1 email a week. So if it feels overwhelming and daunting to you to be putting out an email once a week, go back and listen to that episode. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but we'll put it in the show notes for you because it'll be super, super helpful. We don't want you to go too long without emailing, because then they're going to kind of forget about you, right? We want to keep them warm. We want to keep them engaged. All right. So back to valuable content. What do you send each week in the email? Okay. The content that you are creating. I teach and preach, create new content every single week. Every single week I put out a podcast episode, which is also a blog, which is also a YouTube video. Okay. I talked about this a few weeks ago in the podcast episode, how to repurpose your content. You should be creating free content on a weekly basis and putting it out there. Free trainings, free mini lessons, free education every single week that your audience will love and wants to learn about. If you want to grow organically in that aspect, be putting it out there. If you do not have a plan yet for what medium that you're going to use to share this valuable education every week, then it's time to put a plan together, right? Is it going to be a blog post? By medium, I mean, is it going to be a blog post? Is it going to be a podcast? Is it going to be a YouTube video or a video that you post on Facebook or LinkedIn? Like what are you going to create? Blog, podcast, video. YouTube video. Those are kind of like my 3 main things. I don't care if it's 5 minutes or it's 10 minutes long. It just has to be something. I need you to make a plan and start putting some super valuable content together out in the world. Once you start creating that content, use that email address that you grabbed and send them the free content. Pay attention. Are you on my email list? I'm sending out my podcast every single week, typically on Wednesdays when the podcast drops. Okay. And this is going to help you build the know, like, and trust factor. I don't expect you to come on my email list and literally buy that day. I expect you to get on my email list, use the freebie, get some amazing, great wins out of it, start listening to my podcast, get some more great, valuable insights, leave an amazing review on the podcast, like New Biz Builder. And then when I have that offer, you're like, Chrissy has given me so much amazing free stuff. Like I can only imagine what is behind the paid closed doors, right? So if you want to, know how to expand your reach and get more people on your list, then go listen to, I'm referencing a lot of old podcasts, you guys, how to repurpose your content to reach more people. It was season 4, episode 4. I knew I was going to mention that one. So I did pull out the episode number. Again, we'll leave that in the show notes. So you've got kind of your little list of podcast episodes you can listen to next if you haven't heard them already, or maybe you have. Go back and listen with fresh new ears. Okay. Just because you have someone on your email list doesn't mean that that's, hey, it's in the bag, they're going to purchase my next thing. A lot of people need some time to really get to know, and trust you. Okay. They don't know you very well. And so this is the opportunity to start nurturing them, to start building that trust factor and continuing to give them all of this free, valuable information. Okay. So that when you go pitch your next thing, they are ready. So if you're someone who teaches people how to eat healthy, it's important that you put out weekly content to help people who want to eat healthy or eat clean, right? What's your spin on it? What do you teach people? Make your weekly content around this concept and then offer them that information. Okay. Number 3, the third thing that we do with that email is market your products to them. Okay. We aren't going to get the sale unless we ask for it. This is where the return on your investment comes into play. And without this part, we're just doing business for free, right? We're spending time and energy for free. So this is an important step. And the whole reason behind collecting their email is to be able to eventually bring them into a paid offer so that you can help them on a deeper level. Now let's go on a little side tangent here about selling, because we need to get your mindset right. I am big on mindset. If you did not know, you will find out. So we need to get your mindset right around selling and what that means. So in this mindset of when I get a sale, that doesn't mean for me whoa, I got their money, yes, this is amazing. This is exactly what I was going for. I got their money in my pocket. Okay. It means, yes, I'm now able to help this person on a much deeper level. So for me, money signifies a bigger transformation. So the more money that I make, the more transformations that I can help happen out there into the world. So I might say, yes, the end goal is to get the sale and make that money, but really it's much bigger than that. And the end goal is to help people make a transformation. But the best way to help them make a really deep transformation is if they purchase what you have. Remember, the freebie only gives them a small, quick win, something to make them feel good quickly, something to build a little trust quickly with you. But it's the products, the oils, the shakes, whatever it is, or the paid course or program that gets them that juicy, deep, life-changing result. So let's just make sure that our mindset is right around making the sale and asking for the sale so that you can get the sale. Okay. Because if you go in with the wrong energy, they're going to sense it all over your words in the email. They're going to sense it. So we have to get a right mindset. Okay. So let's do a little recap. Number 1, when you get the email address, you need to, 1, put it in your CRM system, but then also add the appropriate tag or appropriate segment. Okay. So actually in ActiveCampaign, we have 2 lists, if you will. We have a Grow Workspace list and we have our KC Consulting list. Okay. 2 segments. So we have 1 email platform, but we have these 2 major segments that are very different. And we kind of call those our 2 different lists, but they're just segmented inside our platform. Okay. Number 2, what do you do with that email? You offer them valuable content to build the know, like, and trust factor. Send them out your regular content every single week if you can. And number 3, market and sell to them to grow your revenue. Okay. That's what I'm super passionate about, helping people like you grow, run their business in an effective way, grow your business to what you envision that it is. I love helping people take that vision and finding finding the courage to step out into this uncomfortable space and place and try these new things so that you can grow your business and really make your vision come true. And it all starts with an amazing kick butt website and that free offering that is irresistible. And I often go to websites, like so many people will come to me and they'll say, because Digital Duplication Academy helps you set up your website and all of these amazing things. And so they say, I already have a website. And then I go look at the website and there's so much that can be improved on their website. Okay. They're not speaking to their customer. Their website seems to be all about them. And it shouldn't be all about you. It should be all about your customer. Or I don't see a freebie anywhere. I have to go digging for it. Like it should be one of the first things that I'm seeing. Or maybe it's there and I can tell instantly. I could look at someone's website and then say, I bet no one's joining your email list, are they? And be like, oh my gosh, how do you know? Well, you're not positioning your freebie in a way that's making it irresistible. That's all about the marketing around it, right? Or I jump over to the about page and it's like, all about the person whose business it is. And it's like, you're missing this major concept of that. Your about page is not all about you. And they're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. Right. So I see a lot of people who are wondering why they aren't growing their email list, why they aren't getting customers. And they really just need some proper education on how to make their website wildly profitable. How to attract the right people. They need the right strategy behind their freebie, what they're offering and what it's leading to, and how they're marketing their freebie so that people are like, oh my gosh, I never give my email address out, but like I have to give you my email address because I need this thing. And people jumping on left and right. I just held this master class and grew my email list by 600 people. And we marketed for like 10 days. And between that and my other freebies, I brought in 1,000 new leads this month. Okay. And only about 40 of those leads came from paid ads. Okay. So you can do this with organic marketing. I'm not going to sit here and tell you and you have to do paid ads to get all of these leads. No, only a small percentage of those were from actual paid ads. The rest were from organic marketing, free marketing. Okay. Some were for us marketing this masterclass and others were freebie offers that I have out there being talked about on other podcast episodes and people are opting in. I had 1,000 new people join this month with just joining my email list. Okay. So that's so much potential, so many warm leads there. Maybe you were one of them. Like I cannot wait to just keep showering you with valuable content every single week on these episodes to help you. So if you're someone who is like, dang, I need a website because I want to do this, growing my email list because this sounds powerful, or dang, my website needs some improvements after listening to this, then I want you to jump on the wait list. I mentioned we just did this free masterclass. I've got a wait list up for you. It's how to build a wildly profitable website without knowing a thing about tech. So I have a wait list up for you right now since we just held this, but we're going to be bringing it back because people were like, this was amazing. So I say my wait list, but this is really my VIP people. We treat them like kings and queens in there. So if you want to jump on that wait list for the next time we do this masterclass, if you missed it, go to thechrissychin.com/website class, and you can jump on the wait list there, and then you'll get the information on maybe when the next one will be, or we'll be sure to email you right away when we know that date. All right, that's it for today. Until next week, don't forget to go out, take that imperfect action so that you can move forward in your business. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate you, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you got some value out of this episode, I would love some support. And the best way to do that so I can keep showering you with loads of actionable tips is to hit that subscribe button. Leave a review or a comment if you're on YouTube, and share this podcast with a friend. And when you share it with a friend on social, please tag me so I can reshare your share in my stories. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out. I appreciate the heck out of you for showing up. And now it's time for you to take imperfect action so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more.